Hello, Living Environment fans. How are you today? This should be my last day of quarantine. Here I'm deep in the bowels of the Kobach compound in beautiful Peru, New York, where I have been convalescing. Well, not really convalescing, isolating because of my exposure to COVID. It's a little disconcerting because I am vaccinated. I'm got both vaccinations, and I tested COVID positive. Um, in spite of being vaccinated, but I never got sick. So that makes me think that I already had a good set of antibodies ready to fight the virus and never felt any effects of having the virus. It was the benefit of, I would caught COVID. Being vaccinated was better than not being vaccinated. Um, anyway, it does make me a little more leery about school. Like I would sit around the room in different spots. So I probably will have to stand off a little bit because I caught it at school from one of the students. All right. So anyway, let's do today's Bellringer.
All right. Hey now. Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
It's interesting too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class. And he's super cool. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
All right. So last time we met, you took the Unit 1 test. The cool part about doing the test this way was I actually could watch from home your progress through the test. For sure, no problem. Yeah, and I could go student by student to see how they were doing. So that's pretty cool. I hope that there's a way that I can share that information with you. And then you can go back and see what you had missed. It's just really neat, I think. A few kids that were out. Right, it was in a couple different parts. I would say most people said they had the most difficulty with the Regents type questions. And so for the Bellringer today, let's look at a few of those for sure. All right, let's see if I can open one up here. All right, question two. Right, this was a scientific design question. An investigation of the cycling of environmental gases. A student placed water in these test tubes. What was the function of test tube 1? The correct answer would be a control. Okay, a control. Here, for today's Bellringer, which of the following would be a possible responding or dependent variable that the student can measure about each test tube? Another experimental design question. It's at a water plant placed in bright light gives off bubbles. A student notes that placing light at differences from the plant causes the rate of bubbling to vary. So this question asks you what should be the control, which should have been a plant that was exposed to just regular old sunlight. But again, I'm going to ask you, okay, if a student notes that placing the light in different distances from the plant causes the rate of bubbling to vary, what was the student's independent manipulated variable? What was the mix? Right, and then my questions, ones I wrote, they were just written differently. Right, this is typical. What is it that making bonds will store but breaking bonds will release? I'm hoping, just looking at the answer choices, you were able to eliminate everything but the correct answer. But the correct answer, of course, was energy. But it would be fun if breaking bonds would release the Kraken. Release the Kraken. Ha ha ha. All right, so for today's plan, today's assignment, after you've done this Bellringer, of course, I've got some notes for you on, boy, it's going to feel sciencey. It's going to be intimidating. Buckle your seatbelts, people. Get ready to rock and roll with some organic chemistry. No, seriously, there's a lot here, but so what I did was I put PDF. You can open that with Cami. And then I made a video of me, of course, going through the notes. And so you open both of those at the same time, you'll be able to record your notes. And then when you finish that, the review, of course, is I've got the Amoeba Sisters talking about carbon compounds and biochemistry. And so that's your in-class assignment today. All right, and then I also have for you, of course, reading. I decided not to do any book talks today. You know, with the test last week, you had enough to focus on. But yeah, make sure you finish reading about Small World. I'll give the book talk on Wednesday, the little, Bellringer quiz about the book. And then I'll give you the next reading assignment then. Yeah, it should be a great day. And I'm looking forward to seeing most of you in person tomorrow.